Good afternoon. I decided to take a break from the rain and finally stop so I can get out here and make an update video about old Maggie here and the lift rods and the tires. Just give you an update on where we're at. So I've gone from snow to now spring-like. You know, the snow's all gone, so now we're dealing with rain and, you know, things of that nature. So would I change anything? Absolutely not. The 2.5 inch lift from Proud Rhino was spot on in my opinion. Absolutely perfect. I love it. I love the way it drives. I love the way it handles. I love everything about it. I can't even imagine going back to stock. The 33-inch tires, that's made a world of difference in the way it drives. It's much smoother. You don't have the low profile tires anymore. It is a little bit of road noise because they're all-terrain tires, so they do hum just a little bit, but I love them. Absolutely love them. Absorbs bumps really well. It goes off-road really well. I have an enormous amount of ground clearance that I've gained, like 4 inches roughly. So hands down, best mod I've ever put on this car, hands down, okay? Now, why did I go with Proud Rhino? Well, I went with their lift rods because it's 2.5 inch, okay? The industry standard, it seems, like Johnson rods and so on, is 2 inch. Well, these are 2.5. I don't know why the half-inch difference, but I have full functionability with my off-road height settings. In fact, I've even gone into extended mode once I got hung up off-road and no problems whatsoever. So, hands down, worth the money. Absolutely, well, they're like $60, so yeah, it's worth the money. These tires, the all-terrain Hercules, Ironman Hercules tires. Excuse me, Ironman All Country tires. I went with these because I wasn't sure if I would like 33s. Because remember, if you go 32s, you blow an airbag, the thing will go to the bump stops and they're not going to rub. You can still get around, you can still get off the trail, things like that. I blow an airbag in these, I'm stuck like Chuck. There's nothing going to get me off that trail except a really big truck to drag, you know, lift me off the ground and get me out of there. So I'm kind of stepping out on a limb with these 33s, but so far, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So these tires, though, these Ironman All Country tires, they're all terrains. They're very affordable. I think I paid $500 for all 4 of them. I mean, and I went with a 33 because you get a wide variety of tires. Everything from muds to streets to all season, all terrain, you name it, they got it. Because it's for a pickup. That size is for a pickup truck. So it worked out rather well for me. So other than that, drivability is as good or better than factory. It's taller, so remember, if you're having a hard time getting in at factory ride height, you're going to have a harder time getting into it because the seat is going to be a fair amount higher off the ground, okay? So bear that in mind. Rubbing issues, well, let's get into that. So the rears would rub right about in this area, okay, and over here. In fact, on the other side, this side actually, you can see where it kind of chunked up the tire, this groove. That's different, that's added. That's from this grabbing in here and chewing up the tire. So what I did was take the wheel off and tap it, roll it with a hammer, you know, gently. So you're not tearing up, well, mine's all rusty, but you know, gently tap in all the way around here. This fender, you can't really do much with because it's a rubber seal through here. But back here, I just kind of massaged it with a hammer and now they don't rub at all. So problem solved there. In the front, at full lock, you will get a rub. That's where it rubs, at full lock. Now, this is 3 months worth of wear, and it's not built up, it's not tearing up the plastic, it's just merely rubbing it, okay? Now, the other side is a little more sensitive, because you got this cooler over here. You can just see it through there. So, it grabbed this plastic bit and broke it. These tires did, okay? Now, remember, see, you can see it rubbing right there, just touching it. These are all terrains. If you had mud terrains, the damage may be a little bit higher. Same diameter, but the knobbies on those things will grab plastic bits and just rip them clean off. Okay, so there's my rubbing issues. Now, as far as drivability, like I was saying, it drives just as good, if not better. These tires with hydroplaning don't have an issue with that. They cut right through it. They did well in snow. Ice, all bets are off. I don't care what you got. You get a 1/4 inch or more ice on the ground, you're going to be all over the place. So you just slow down and take it easy. These do well in snow. They do well in slush. Right when we were going from winter to spring, where you get the heavy wet snow, it's not quite slush. That's where I struggled, but all cars struggled. We went off-roading, it was me and a bunch of Jeeps, and you know, this is much heavier than a Jeep, so some of the trails I struggled on, just because we had a foot of this slushy, kind of almost hard-packed snow, and it was kind of a nightmare for me, actually. I ended up only staying out there for like an hour or two, and then we just said screw it and went back, because I kept slumping off into the ditches, and I'd have to go back and forth to dig myself a fresh hole to keep moving forward. And then we got up to an uphill section, and that's all she wrote. I couldn't make it up the hill, there's no way, and it wasn't really worth it for me. So we just backed out of that and went home. But other than that, mud, they do well in. Clay mud, again, you know, it's like ice, all bets are off. I don't care what tires you got, you get in the clay mud, you got to keep them spinning and hope you carried enough momentum. Sand, they do quite well in. I was actually surprised with my sand fraction more than anything else. They don't hydroplane very well at all, just because of the tread pattern on them. Evacuates water really well. So really, I bought these tires because they were the best cheap tire, if you will, that I could buy at the time. So I only paid like $500 for all 4 of them, and I still have to replace the spare. I haven't done that yet. But they're great tires. They really are. I'm really shockingly pleased with these tires, because I didn't think I'd have them for very long. I figured I'd use the 33s, get a taste for it, probably step back down to the 32s. But I really like these, so I'm going to keep them on for a while. And I'm really loving the ground clearance, let me tell you. But the Proud Rhino lift rods have been flawless. Once I put them on, the truck just adjusted, went right up to its normal height, which you see now. And that works out to be roughly about, I'd say 4 inches taller, 3.5, 4 inches taller. I haven't done the math on it. Well, geez, you figure 2.5 inches for the lift, and then another 3-inch tires, 1.5 inches. So yeah, you're looking at 4 inches. So it's 4 inches taller. So again, getting in and out with the seat, you got to pay attention to that, because the seat is now 4 inches taller. So if you're a shorter lad or lass, you might have to take, you know, other precautions necessary. You know, some footsteps or some side steps. I mean, I'm 6'3", so I have a problem. No problem at all. I just slip right in. So I'll enjoy that for as long as I can. You know, another thing, I did have a subscriber, a watcher, Hal Lee, asked a question. It was a very good one, about massaging the fender liners and the fuel filler hose that goes on the passenger side or the right hand side. You know, if you're in England, of course you sit on that side, but massaging that fender liner to get around so the tire doesn't rub on the fuel filler bulge in the fender liner. You follow me? So I use 25mm wheel spacers, and that problem is gone. I don't have that issue at all. They don't rub anywhere inside the fender liners in normal driving. Okay, full lock like I just showed you, yes, they will just graze on the fender liner edges, but driving around normal, they don't rub at all, not even a little. And the 25mm spacers, well, here, I'll show you. All right, so here's the side view. You can see the tires are right at the edge like that. I love the way that looks. So these tires, remember, they're 275/60/20, and I have the 25mm spacers on there, and I think they complement just great. So there you have it, my experience with the Proud Rhino lift rods and the Ironman All Country tires. Hugely favorable, really pleased with both of them and what they're doing for me. I think this truck looks the way it should have when it left Solihull, but you know, I get it. When lawyers run the world, you gotta follow certain protocol. But I think it's in a great spot right now. I think it just looks perfect. So, as always, like, share, comment, subscribe. If I missed a detail or something that you wanted to see, please feel free to ask. We'll carry this on in the comment section or what have you. Until then, you know, keep them Range Rovers muddy, and I hope you guys have a good day.